Hunting is something that has happened for generations, where our ancestors had to attack predators to defend our land, attack herbivores from eating all of our crops. The moral story is, hunting is very important for how we live. But now we live in a system where hunting isn't a problem anymore. Predators don't attack due to large cities, loud sounds. What if we're slowly destroying the world by not taking care of animal numbers? What if a decade from now, it turns into an animal crisis? Well, today I'm going to be talking about why hunting is important. I, myself, hunt. In fact, I've been hunting for a couple of years. I have a lot of experience around the fact of hunting, and, basically I grew up around it. I grew up in Pennsylvania, which is surrounded by woods and farm fields. Now, I grew up around this whole idea of killing animals for food, and, it's pretty normal around here. But in other areas, it isn't, which sparks my first topic, culture. I grew up in Pennsylvania, which is surrounded by woods. Different parts of America could be a little bit different than Pennsylvania. The more west you go, there's less hunters. The more on the east and south you go, there's probably more hunters. Basically, what I'm saying is different parts of the world have different opinions on hunting. Like I just said, I'm surrounded by hunting all the time. Every year I hunt. My family hunts, I hunt, fish, I do all the things that there is about outdoors. But if you compare that to, other places, different cultures, it's completely different. California is a different place because there's more cities. If you grew up in California, you probably have a different opinion on what it's like to be in Pennsylvania, right? You're not surrounded by the woods all the time. If you're born in the city, you know what it's like to be in the city. If you're born out in the country or out in the middle of nowhere, you know what it's like to be out in the middle of nowhere. Another point that I have is generations. And I think this is probably the biggest problem and why there's less hunters nowadays. It is proven that baby boomers, which were born in 1946 to 1964, hunted more than Gen Z. In fact, baby boomers were hunting in the highest of the 1980s and the 90s. And baby boomers were the ones dominating those years for hunting. However, since baby boomers are now getting older, they're slowing down, meaning there's less hunting, and those fiery hunters are now dipping down. But compared to Gen Z, which is more focused on technology, AI, and meta glasses, and more to come. There are 3,000 animal species in the US alone. Most of them are insects, while 400 of those species are mammals. Basically, there's a lot of animals in America. But too many could be a problem. Overpopulation is bad for animals, absolutely terrible for them. Meaning less food, destruction to crops, destroying their own habitat, messing up the ecosystem. And another problem is America lacks apex predators, meaning most of these animals don't really get killed too often. Not hunting deer could also cause more car accidents with deer. Without apex predators, that leads to us to take care of these animals. Sure, we got bear, coyote, and different kinds of animals out there, but yet again, these animals can't take out most of what we see today. What if people who support animal rights are actually destroying the planet that they support? My goal for this video isn't showing you that you need to hunt, but maybe to show you that it's actually good to hunt and not bad to hunt. Hunting is very important for how we live in life, and it is a very important practice we need to keep doing. So that's all I had to say. Pieces.